Alright, hopefully y'all can hear me. So today I want to kind of work on this distributor that's in this car. This is a cheapo Rock Auto distributor, Duraspark, like copy. It was like 60 bucks, I think, but I'm going to attempt to try to make it better. In my previous videos, I've kind of told you guys that I've had some issues with it where the timing is kind of erratic, and one of the main issues with the Duraspark distributors is one of the main issues with the Duraspark distributors is it has too much advance. So what that means is you basically have to set a really low initial timing, otherwise it'll give you too much advance. So these things have way too much advance. So we're going to attempt to kind of limit that. And then also I bought like a recurve kit, basically a spring kit. You can get that anywhere. It's just an assortment of springs that we're going to replace so that the advance comes in quicker. So, but what I want to do is kind of do a back-to-back comparison. So I got the car warmed up, and I'm going to do like a first gear pull, and I'm going to show you guys the RPMs. And then once we're done, I'm going to do the exact same thing, and let's see what the difference is. Alrighty guys, this is the next day. I got a little late yesterday and had some other things to do. So I got the whole thing apart, basically completely disassembled. Admittedly, this is like the first time I'm ever messing with one of these, so I'm kind of doing it off of just kind of guessing, but hopefully you guys will learn something. I did mark the distributor. I kind of like to do it like that with tape, and marked it on the car too. But since I got everything apart, this is the gear. You got to take it out with the little roll pins. So there's two little roll pins here. Yeah, one here and here. So those two roll pins there go on the gear, and then there's this little spacer here that kind of holds the whole shaft in the housing. So I'm not going to really go into how to take it all apart. There's probably plenty of videos on that. So the springs were they're located like right. They hook to this and this little post here. So you just pop those off. These are the original ones are right here. These are the original springs. Okay. And I'm going to replace it with these. Okay, you can see they're a smaller, lighter spring. I basically just got this little kit here. It's only a couple bucks. Advanced curve kit, 928G. I'm sure there's probably other ones. That's actually for GM, but it really doesn't matter as long as the springs fit, which they have the little hook on there, and they should work. So that's one part of what we're going to do. The second part of what we're going to do is I want to limit the amount of advance. Okay, so if you can see here, there was this little plastic, I don't know, like a little retainer, not really a retainer, but just a little plastic clip that goes on this bar here. And you can see this here, this movement is the actual advance. Okay, so this would be no advance at all, and then all the way over here is full advance. So we're getting probably, I have it set around 14 degrees base timing, and then it goes all the way up to 39 degrees, 38, 39. So that's quite a bit of timing. So that would be 23 degrees. So that would be like 23, 24 degrees of timing change. So what we want to do is like cut that in half. Okay, I'd like to get around 13 degrees timing, maybe 12 degrees timing. So we're gonna have to basically take up half the space. Okay, so there's a couple ways we can do it. We can either weld something here to this little post sticking out. so that when this wants to open, it's going to hit something and stop, like say right there. So that'll limit the amount of advance. And then what we'll do is we'll set our base timing up to around 20 degrees. And then if it advances 15 degrees, we'll have 35 degrees of timing. So we could even go to 22 base timing and then have it advance to like 38, whatever we want. If you're all familiar with, messing with timing on a Fox body, you'll know that when you pull the spout, it drops down to a base timing. But when you put the spout back in, it goes up to like at idle. I mean, it's idling around like 22 degrees of timing. So I'm not doing anything different than that, okay? We're just doing it mechanically. So I haven't decided how I'm going to limit the travel yet. I could even make another bushing like this, but make it bigger so that it limits the travel both ways, okay? You could do it either way. Like you could make it so that the bushing stops it here and here, okay? So let me get the springs put in and then we'll kind of decide after that how we're going to limit the travel. Alrighty guys, so here's what I've come up with. So I measured the distance between, when this gap is totally open, and it was around 400 thousandths. So my theory is in order to take up half the travel, I'm putting something in there that is half the size. So this little piece of metal here is around 200 thousandths thick, and basically just clamped it in, and I'm going to weld it to this arm here so that when it comes over, it's gonna stop on that. Alrighty, so we successfully welded this little 200,000 spacer on here. So as you can see, now let me see if I can do this with one hand here. You can see now we have half the travel. So let me go ahead and start reassembling this. I'm not going to show all that because it's super easy. You just put the springs on. I'm going to use the lightest springs I have here, which are these black ones, and just go ahead and reassemble it and bolt it all back together. It's really easy. You just stick it in here. I'm going to put a little grease and anti-seize on the shaft here, because I noticed it was kind of dry whenever I took it out and kind of, I don't know, wearing a little bit. So I don't think it was lubricated at all. So hopefully that'll help. I don't know, but we'll see. And put it all back together, get it installed, and try it out. Alrighty guys, there you go. Back together, reassembled. We have the gear in, the little retaining washer there, and yeah, got the rotor back on, and we got our little spot there where it's going to be pointing when we go ahead and install it. So I have 2 points of reference, one here on the base and one there. So when I drop it back in, it should go right back into where it was before. So let's go ahead and put it in and try it out. So this is up actually a couple days later. I'm actually not 100% sure where I left off when I was working on the distributor, but yeah, so we got it all installed and everything, and we're gonna do like a little quick test and kind of like a comparison to the other test before we mess with the distributor. So yeah, we'll go for a quick ride, and then we'll just finish this video up, and yeah, that'll be it. so hopefully that came out good on video. I don't know if y'all can see the tack or not, but it definitely feels way more snappy, like the low end. It feels really good. So what I have the timing set at right now is around 26 degrees base, and it goes up to around 38, 39. Okay, so the one thing you want to make sure of is, or the one, I shouldn't say make sure of, the one thing you want to just kind of keep an eye on when you're modifying your distributor like that is if you get your base timing too high, you're gonna have a hard time starting the car, unless you get like a box that can do a start retard, because of, you know, the sparks going off and trying to stop the piston from coming up. So your starter is gonna be like it's not gonna want to start the car. So just keep an eye on that. One thing I will note, I know the way I modify the distributor is one way you can do it, but the further I looked into that distributor, and I'm not 100% sure if all Duraspark distributors are the same, but the closer I looked at it, you can actually take the distributor apart further and actually flip the plate, and it has another side to it which has a shorter throw on the advance. So I could have done that too. So keep that in mind. I don't know if, you know, like, I don't know if all distributors are like that. This one is. I mean, I got this distributor on Rock Auto for like, I think it was like 60 or 70 bucks. I can't remember, but yeah. So anyway, that's how I modified it. It's got the light springs in it, and I shortened the advance on it, and it works really good. The other thing I noticed is that it idles really good too. Okay, so it's burning cleaner. It's like before, when it was like around 13 degrees timing, 12, 13 at base, it smelt really bad, like a lot of gas fumes and stuff like that. But idling at like 26, 27 degrees of timing, that seemed to have gone away. Like it's still there, but nowhere near as bad. Okay, so it seemed like it cleaned up the idle. And my AFRs did jump up a little bit, not much, okay, not that much. Maybe it was idling around 12.2, 12.3, and now it's like 12.5, 12.6. So there's a few differences, and I did have to turn the idle down because when you raise the timing, obviously your idle comes up. So I was able to, you know, lower the curb idle a little bit, and so it's idling right now around 1100 RPMs. So, but anyway, I'm happy with the way it is, and I'll drive it like this for a while and see how it goes. And yeah, that's gonna do it. Hopefully you guys learned something on this video, and I don't know what else we'll be doing with this car. Probably some more things, maybe a nitrous kit or something, I'm not sure. But anyway, that's gonna do it. Check y'all later.